Ladies and gentlemen, in the history of the NHL, not too many players have the distinction of being drafted first overall. And in this case, with Michel Plasse, he was not only drafted first overall in 1968 by the Montreal Canadiens, he's one of the few goalies ever to go in the first round of any draft in the modern era. Now, Michel Plasse, born June 1st, 1948 in Montreal, unfortunately died in 2006 of a massive heart attack at the young age of 58. Now, his playing career detailed 14 or 15 seasons that never met the the anticipation of him coming into association. Now, for in his NHL career, he played for St. Louis, Montreal eventually, the Kansas City Scouts, the Pittsburgh Penguins, Colorado Rockies, and a short stint with the Quebec Nordiques. Despite, again, being a first draft pick, Plasse ended up playing the majority of his career in St. Louis for the minor league affiliate, the Kansas City Blues of the Central Hockey League, and on February 21st, 1971, the Oklahoma City Blazers were trailing the Blues and decided to pull their goaltender. Plasse scored on an open net and became the first professional goalie in the history of the game to score a goal. Now, his NHL totals were mediocre at best. A lot of people criticized him, especially in 1974, when he ended up being the number 2 goalie for Montreal when Ken Dryden was articulating for his law degree. He chalked up 16,760 regular season minutes on 299 games, giving up 1,058 goals with an average of 3.79 goals against per game. He did have 2 shutouts, including 2 for both for Pittsburgh in 75-76. He also played 4 Stanley Cup playoff games for Montreal, conceding 9 goals in 195 minutes. And of course, he won the 1973 Stanley Cup with Montreal as Dryden's backup. Now, when I say that Plasse's statistics weren't consistent, ladies and gentlemen, let's put this in perspective. Any goalie that gives up 4 goals a game for the Montreal Canadiens in the midst of the 1970s dynasty was not really deserving to be with the big squad. Now, despite this, Plasse won 18 games and 32 starts with Montreal, only losing 6, but he had a lot of offensive, powerhouse in front of you. Yvon Cormier once said, Michel could have been a good goalie, but he just didn't get the breaks. Because, he had a really good career with the Drumville Rangers before he ended up in the NHL, especially the 1968 season, where he had a very stellar 2.10 goal against average in 30 games played, which was very impressive for what would be the Q League. Now, his time with the Nordiques, he started to show some recoup of his talent. That year with the 80-81 with Quebec, he only lost 14 games and 33 starts, had a passable 3.66 goals against average. But the thoughts of him being a number 1 draft pick and kind of letting most of the franchises down. Like I said, he had 1 year at Pittsburgh as a heavy starter and with Colorado in 77. But he never showed a consistency that would enable him to be a true number 1 whatever team he was playing for. It's kind of funny though, he was being considered for the Toronto Maple Leafs as well, but Benoit Rock ended up being with Toronto for that short stint. Now, Michel Plasse has taken a lot of criticism. I don't consider him the worst goalie ever for the Montreal Canadiens. I think it's Andre Rassigo is number 1 in my bets, because Plasse, with some of the lower teams in the league, showed consistency, especially in road situations. He was probably a top 5 worst goalie in Montreal history, but obviously not the worst. Again, he can't speak up for himself because he said in many published reports there was a lot of pressure on him before he ended up being with Montreal, and he felt that played a factor to him. Maybe he expected a little bit too much from me. And don't forget, they had another backup in the Montreal post-Dryden year in Wayne Thomas. So you had Thomas, LaRocque, and Plasse fighting for the number one position, and neither one of them was a number one player. They were just true backups. So anyway, have a good day, and don't forget, be safe out there. Warm weather is not eliminating the COVID, so make sure hand washing, keep your distance, but always be respectful for other people wearing a mask. Don't humiliate or shame them. Everybody has a role to play and a role to take in this situation. So be courteous and enjoy the podcast. And if you do enjoy it, leave a like, comment, or subscribe. It's well appreciated. Bye.